Have you ever wondered what happens when destiny and desperation collide in the NFL? The Atlanta Falcons might be about to give us the perfect example, and it involves one of the most polarizing superstars in football, Jalen Ramsey. Fresh off their failed pursuit of Jaire Alexander, the Falcons have inadvertently revealed their hand. They're not satisfied with their cornerback room, and when you're looking to upgrade at one of the most crucial positions in modern football, there's a name that keeps surfacing in conversations around Atlanta, a name that carries both championship pedigree and controversy in equal measure. The Miami meltdown that created an opportunity. Let's start with the elephant in the room. How does a player who signed the largest cornerback contract in NFL history less than 12 months ago suddenly become available? Welcome to the bizarre world of Jaylen Ramsay and the Miami Dolphins, where million-dollar investments can become unwanted baggage faster than you can say buyer's remorse. Ramsey's situation in Miami reads like a cautionary tale about the volatile nature of NFL relationships. Despite inking that record-breaking deal in September, the Dolphins are already shopping their premium acquisition. The reasons remain murky, whether it's locker room dynamics, scheme fit, or simply buyer's remorse. But the result is crystal clear. One of the league's most talented cornerbacks is suddenly back on the market. The Dolphins have been openly shopping Ramsey, though history suggests they'll follow the same playbook we saw with Jaire Alexander and Green Bay. No team wants to surrender draft capital for a player they know will eventually be released, especially one carrying Ramsey's price tag. The waiting game has begun, and smart organizations like Atlanta are positioning themselves for the inevitable. The age-old question: does Ramsey still have it? At 30 years old, Ramsey finds himself at the crossroads that define every defensive back's career. The position demands lightning-quick reflexes, explosive speed, and the kind of agility that Father Time loves to steal. But here's where the story gets interesting. Ramsey isn't showing his age. Consider the evidence. For consecutive seasons with multiple interceptions, starting every single game for Miami last season, and consistent production that still places him among the elite at his position. Yes, he missed significant time in 2023 with a foot fracture suffered in training camp, but he returned to start the final 10 games and immediately recorded 3 interceptions. That's not the profile of a declining player, that's the resume of someone who knows how to bounce back. When you rank the 64 starting cornerbacks across the NFL's 32 teams, Ramsey still comfortably sits in the top half of that group. He may not be the Jacksonville or Los Angeles version of himself, but he's undeniably better than the majority of players manning the position. For a team like Atlanta, that represents a significant upgrade opportunity. Atlanta's cornerback conundrum. Now, let's examine why the Falcons find themselves in this position. Their pursuit of Jaire Alexander wasn't just about adding depth. It was a desperate attempt to solve a glaring weakness that could derail their championship aspirations. The brutal reality facing Atlanta is simple. They're one A.J. Terrell injury away from cornerback catastrophe. The depth chart behind their star corner reads like a collection of question marks and hopeful projections. D. Alford's return to the roster tells the story perfectly. The Falcons initially let him test free agency. No other team showed interest, and Atlanta brought him back not because they were excited about his potential, but because they realized he was their least terrible option. Think about the mental gymnastics required to justify that decision. He wasn't very good last year, but he knows our system, and we don't have better alternatives. That's not a ringing endorsement, that's resignation disguised as strategy. The Clark Phillips situation provides even more insight into Atlanta's desperation. If the coaching staff had any real confidence in Phillips, would they have bothered bringing Alford back? Would they have pursued Alexander with such intensity? The answer reveals everything you need to know about their internal evaluation of the cornerback room. The Raheem Morris factor here's where the Ramsey to Atlanta narrative shifts from speculation to legitimate possibility. Remember who's calling the shots in Atlanta now? Raheem Morris, the same defensive coordinator who helped unlock Ramsey's full potential during the Rams' Super Bowl run. Their partnership in Los Angeles was nothing short of spectacular. Morris understood how to maximize Ramsey's unique skill set, positioning him to impact games while minimizing exposure to his weaknesses. When you're Jaylen Ramsay, looking at a landscape of potential destinations, why wouldn't you gravitate toward the coach who already proved he could elevate your game to championship levels? From Ramsay's perspective, this reunion makes perfect strategic sense. At 30, he's got maybe 2 more significant contracts left in his career. A successful 2025 season could be the difference between signing a modest 1-year deal and securing a lucrative multi-year payday in 2026. Morris represents his best chance to showcase the elite version of himself that casual fans sometimes forget still exists. The perfect storm of circumstances, multiple factors, are aligning to make this potential partnership increasingly logical. Atlanta's geographical appeal shouldn't be underestimated. Ramsey's a Florida native, and playing in the Southeast keeps him relatively close to home while joining a franchise with legitimate playoff aspirations. The Falcons aren't the rebuilding disaster they were just a few years ago. With Michael Penix Jr. entering his 2nd season and a defense that could be truly special with the right pieces, Atlanta represents the kind of competitive environment where Ramsey could thrive while building his case for one final big contract. The financial structure also works in everyone's favor. Ramsey would likely sign a modest 1-year deal, betting on himself to earn a bigger payday after proving his worth. The Falcons get a proven veteran without massive long-term commitment, and Ramsey gets his showcase opportunity under a coach who knows how to use him. The championship chess move, if this partnership materializes, it represents more than just roster improvement. It's a championship-caliber chess move that could transform Atlanta's defensive identity. Pairing Ramsey with A.J. Terrell would give the Falcons one of the most formidable cornerback tandems in the league, allowing them to match up with any offensive attack. The versatility factor adds another dimension to consider. Morris could deploy Ramsey in multiple roles: traditional outside corner, slot coverage, or even safety in certain packages. That flexibility becomes invaluable in today's NFL, where offensive coordinators constantly seek mismatches. Most importantly, adding Ramsey would signal to the rest of the league that Atlanta is serious about contending now. Championship teams make bold moves to address weaknesses, and this would qualify as exactly that kind of statement. The Jaylen Ramsay situation represents everything compelling about NFL roster construction: talent evaluation, relationship dynamics, strategic positioning, and perfect timing, all converging into one fascinating storyline. For the Falcons, it's an opportunity to solve a critical need while reuniting championship partners. For Ramsey, it's a chance to rebuild his value under a coach who understands his greatness. Whether this connection materializes or remains an intriguing what if. One thing is certain: Atlanta's aggressive pursuit of cornerback help has revealed their hand, and smart players like Ramsey are undoubtedly taking notice. What's your take on this potential reunion? Do you think Morris and Ramsey could recapture that Super Bowl magic in Atlanta? Share your thoughts in the comments and smash that like button if you want more deep dives into the moves that could reshape the NFC South.